Okay. Hey, all right, big man. You want to make some big bucks. Let's see how tough you are. You know something about
trucking?
Dígame. What you kidding me or what?
All you have to do is stay a minute. Just take your time. The clock is ticking, so stay. All you have to do is stay.
YouTube, what's going on, Lockoutmen? And welcome back to another episode of New to the Trucking Industry. So if you guys is interested in getting into the trucking industry and you just want to know a lot of answers to a lot of questions, well, you came to the right video. This series right here, which would give you maybe not an in-depth look. I don't know, but it's my way of giving back to you guys that's interested in coming into the trucking industry. Now, the information that I got or that I get is from CDLresources.com. So the same information that you guys that I'm giving, you can go to that website and read up on it. If you feel that this video is maybe boring or whatever, I don't know. I try not to make it boring. I try to make it exciting for you guys. Not too much excitement that's gonna be like over the drama, over this YouTube drama thing. The black truckers against the white trucker. Woo-wee! My feed is blowing up with everybody said somebody's name and one thing, and somebody got to go back and respond to that person, and somebody got to go back and respond to that person. It's just going back and forth. You guys just want to come on YouTube and just get some information about the trucking industry. That's where I come in at. Stay tuned. So a lot of this information I'm going to be reading from the information that I found online. And a lot of these informations that I find are the same information that you can find as well online. Alright, so this pretty much, I probably might go verbatim or like I normally do, will read word for word, but you guys get it, right? So people often ask, what is the meaning of lease? It could be confusing for someone new to the trucking industry and thinking about becoming an owner-operator. Now, lease purchase is like a stepping stone to becoming an owner-operator, right? With the information that I'm about to give you guys, it'll give you something to think about whether or not you want to go that extra step into the trucking industry. Let that down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. You'll probably hear the word lease, lease purchase, lease program, lease to own, leasing to a carrier. Words like that, I'm gonna break those down for you so you can probably better understand what those mean. Don't get me up in my feelings over here. I'm not sure what this place is exactly. It's like a open arts place or something like that, but I figured here will be a good place for me to talk to you guys about the leasing. You know what I'm saying? On my 30. It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. So lease, I am right here. You guys want to know about lease purchase in West Virginia, leasing onto a company and stuff like that. It can be confusing, and I understand that it is confusing because you hear what this place is exactly. Drivers, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people saying, well, getting into lease purchase is a good thing. I figured here will be a good place for me to talk to you guys. But you got to understand one thing about leasing. You know what I'm saying? Right. On my 30. All that stuff, everything that's in conjunction with leasing, you're responsible for it. You're responsible for the truck payment. You're responsible for maintenance. You're responsible for fuel. And I could tell you one thing, like if your truck breaks down, like majorly, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You can go in a hole like. And then another thing about leasing, you get these companies that'll tell you like, oh, well, you can do this with leasing, you can do that with leasing, you can do about $1.10 a mile, you can book your own loads and you can refuse loads and stuff like that there. That's not the case either, because basically when you leasing, you're running. You want to make a profit. And at the same time, you want to not only learn how to become an owner-operator, but you want to make money at the same time. You don't want to lose it, you know? So you don't want to end up getting with a fleet manager that's booking your loads and the loads that you're getting is not profitable. See, if I'm leasing, I want to book my own loads, so give me what I want and where I want to go to. That's what leasing is about. Once I'm start leasing, you is basically working for me, right? You're not working for the fleet manager, you're working for me. So if I want a load that's going down to Texas, find me a load that's going down to Texas. Don't come back to me and be like, oh, well, you want a load that's going down to Texas, but we got something that's going up in the Northeast. Come on now. The confusion of leasing, all right, is because the word is often used in conjunction with other words, and each terms is something slightly different, right? Right? So let's jump into one of them. So lease purchase program or leasing to own is this in tandem right here. Many trucking companies have a lease purchase program that would allow the driver to lease with the option to buy, right? Terms of these contracts vary from company to company, okay? Some are ugly, which is super ugly. Some are fair, which is and some are good. Now, not to say that all leasing companies is bad. There are some good leasing companies out there. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Do your research, all right? It's my favorite word. I should get that. Hashtag research, yeah. Many drivers use this program if they don't want to invest their own money up front to become an owner-operator or just can't get finances. Let's stop right there.
Hey Heather, you have a credit card I could borrow? I'll give it right back actually, after I go shopping.
What are you gonna do with it?
Oh wow, Chase, nice, watch. Oh, here you go. Almost got a heart attack there. I call that broken and restored credit.
You want to get your credit together. See, basically, companies that offer these programs are looking for guys such as myself that don't have good credit and can't negotiate a better deal for the truck. Being that I got bad credit, I gotta work on that. I gotta get my credit like up to here to get what I want, right? The majority of the drivers enter into this program because they don't have the money or good credit needed to become owner operators. For them, it's essentially lease financing, unofficially, right? These lease purchase programs usually require no or little money up front, and you don't need a credit score. The driver will become a lease operator. You lease purchase program or leasing to own from the company. So basically, you're still at the company's mercy, per se, but responsible for that truck, per se. Moving on. So the next thing about leasing, right? You know, the different terms and stuff like that. Well, the next term is lease program, not lease program to own, but the lease program, all right? You could lease a truck from a company or a dealership just like you could a car, right? So when you lease a car, you know, you can only drive it for like so long, and you got to keep it within the miles before you get penalized. Well, that's what lease program with the companies are, right? You're leasing the truck, so you're leasing to drive their truck. It's like a glorified company driver. You will make monthly payments, weekly payments, every 2-week payments, depending on what the company set for your payments, right? In some cases, just like lease purchase, you don't have to put no money down, right? You don't have to put no money down. You don't have to have good credit. You could just walk up in there, say, hey, I want to go ahead and lease a truck. Boom, you're golden. However, all right, you don't intend to buy the truck, all right? So that's basically what it is. Your intentions is not to buy the truck. But think about it. If you're going to lease, wouldn't the end goal would be to actually own the truck? You're a worker, such as myself. I want to own the truck. That's the end goal. But often at the end of the agreement or the terms, the trucking company will lease you another new or semi-new truck. So for both the lease purchase and the lease program, you usually do so with the intention to haul for that trucking company that you are leasing from. Although you can lease from another leasing company to haul freight for that company, right? The company may or may not allow you to put your truck with any other trucking company that you want. But, however, some leasing companies are owned by the trucking company. Yes, I know it's getting confusing. I understand. At this point, you are paid and say to be a trusted as an owner-operator, aka an independent contractor, aka 1099, aka everything's your responsibility. The catch is some trucking companies have their own rules and regulations which make you question even if you really are trusted as an owner operator. There is good and bad with anything else. And if you lease a truck from a truck dealership, you could take the truck anywhere you want to go. So the deal is not to lease from the company you work for. You will want to first lease from a dealership. Do your research. Do your research. Now, once you do your research about about finding a lease and you want to lease with a dealership, there are finance companies that now specialize in truck finances that may be a little bit easier to qualify. Their interest rates will be higher, of course, because you got bad credit. The interest rates will be a lot higher, of course, which means you'll be paying a lot more for the truck than what the truck is actually worth. All right. However, the monthly payments are sometimes low. So you might have to weigh your options against your personal situations. So remember, when you doing leasing, not, just the lease side of the truck, lease side of the company, remember to use all variables before you pin your name on that dotted line. All right. So, did my little walk around on my little 30-minute up here at Tamarack. Nice little place up here in West Virginia, man. Y'all might need to come up here and check this place out if you stop through here. The last bit of information I want to give you guys on leasing and lease purchase and stuff like that is the last thing is lease to a carrier, right? The relationship you have with the trucking company that you are affiliated with is described as leasing on. You are leasing the truck on with or to the company as an owner operator. This term even applies to if you even own your own truck, right? Even if it's paid for already. Okay, I got it. It's nothing to do with the descriptions that I mentioned in the first two segments, right? You are the owner operator and you're leasing your truck on to that company. So you're the guy that's doing everything, but the company is just doing the legwork and the paperwork. By leasing on to a carrier, what you are doing is making an agreement to render service of your truck to haul freight for what they secure, right? So let's say Prime, for example, you leasing your truck on with Prime to haul Prime freight. Pretty much, right? I guess that's a good example because Prime Freight leases on to everybody. To lease on to a company, in most cases, you don't need to have your own authority. If you have it and you have your own insurance, the trucking company would give you a larger percent of the take. That's a good thing. So if you have your own authority and your own insurance and you leased on, yeah, they'll give you a much larger of the take. If you don't, then they're going to give you a much lower of the take. Here are some benefits of leasing on to a carrier, right? The company finds freight for you and provide dispatching service at a negotiable rate. The paperwork is done by the company. The company handles the fuel taxes. The company handles the insurance. If you don't already have it, they'll handle the insurance, but of course you're going to have to pay for it. The company provide maintenance, which you're going to have to pay for that too, but the company provide for it. And when you lease on to a company, some upfront expenses can be taken out over time through your settlement pay. Because the company is handling all of the office work for the operator, the owner-operator states as an independent contractor, agrees to get paid by the carrier, right? The customer pays the carrier, which in turn, the carrier will take a percentage and then pays the rest of it out to you. That percentage negotiation, you definitely gotta make sure that it's fair. The amount varies from company to company. Some drivers don't like this, but it should be obvious to you that the carrier does take and do need a percentage of whatever they get from the broker or whoever they getting the haul from. Now, remember, when you're leased on to a company, you're definitely not considered a company driver. So you gotta do what any lease lease deal that you do, you got to remember the few things that you got to understand. Number one, you got to get your own insurance, your own health insurance, your own 401k, your own benefits, because the company is not going to provide that. You also got to remember that they only doing one thing for you, and that's providing you the freight. All right. So remember that. Number two, definitely know that you are responsible for everything. Taxes, truck breaking down, whatever. Now let me tell you about the breakdown process. If the truck breaks down and you can't get it fixed, or it can't be fixed within the amount of time, all right, I got lots more, but my battery is running down. So let me go ahead and change the battery, hop back into the truck, get to where I need to go, and finish up this video. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Y'all see that over there? Y'all see that? Right there. That is the equivalent of a double drop and hook. I came here last night, dropped the trailer, had to take the empty trailer out the door, sat it in the middle of the street, hooked back up to my trailer, which is over there, the full trailer, and put it in the door, and hook back up under this trailer, which I'm about to do right now. So I told you guys all about the good and maybe some of the bad with leasing and lease purchases and stuff like that. But I guess what I haven't told you guys is the problems with lease purchase. So let's talk about the problems with lease programs. All right. While I'm doing that, we about to let this trailer up, and we about to get gone. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the problems, because there are some problems with lease purchase programs or leasing programs in general. So let's talk about that. All right. Now, as you guys know, I get all my research. I go online for you guys. I find out all information that I probably can for you guys, so that you'll know what to expect when you come into this trucking game. You know what I'm saying? Now, majority of this stuff, I know I'm not the trucking guru out here, and I'm not pertaining to be the trucking guru out here. I'm just giving you the same information that I kind of wish I got when I started. You know, I had to do the same thing when I started. I didn't go to YouTube as much. I didn't go to the internet as much. I didn't go to the trucking groups as much. I just probably took what some of the people told me right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this trucking company is a good company. Come to us and we'll treat you right. Well, I didn't know that there was other trucking companies that was probably might have been better than that trucking company. And what I just took what they said about their company as the company. I thought I was going to retire from that company. I was going to get in there, do the damn thing, and just be it with that company. If I had the same information that I'm giving you guys right now, I would have probably took my time and went over all options of a particular company to see if it was the right fit for me. I was excited. I got my license. I just wanted to get on the road. I just wanted to do the damn thing. But then I got into it, and like, bam, a lot of stuff that was told to me wasn't right. A lot of stuff that was told to me wasn't to fruition, and it was just crazy. So I'm glad that you guys found my channel by any ways possible, whether it's from the call videos, from the entertainment videos, from the lesson videos and from these series. You know, I really do appreciate you guys watching and showing me support and showing the love. You gotta bear with me because I'm reading the information to you, all right? You will hear a lot of drivers saying, yo, don't lease. Never lease a truck, including myself. I think I said it a few times in my past videos. Try not to lease a truck, especially when you're brand new to the company. Give yourself some time to learn the ins and outs of the leasing game because it can make and it can break you. Usually the number one reason for this is because of how much you are paying for using or leasing the truck from a company. Usually it runs from like $500 a week to like $1,000 a week, depending on the company and depending on the year of the truck. Others will say never to lease from a particular company. After you talk to enough drivers who dealt with the same company, they will have the same story. And if you talk to enough drivers, you will know that if all their stories the same, then there might be a problem with that company. You might want to take them serious, all right? I mean, talk to a lot of drivers. Don't just talk to maybe like one or two. Talk to a lot of drivers to get a lot of feedback, a lot of opinions from other drivers. Now, one word of caution when you're talking to drivers about their past experience. A lot of them are maybe jaded from their past company. So that particular company might be a good company, but it probably might not have been a good company for them. So what they're going to do is probably try to down talk you from that company, which could possibly be a good company for you. This is often due to the reputation of not getting the miles once you get close to the end of the lease. The problem is that some trucking companies are shady, are ruthless, and dirty. Some of them are. I don't know because I don't deal with the lease side of trucking, but trust me, there are some dirty contracts out here that you're gonna sign. It's just like the record company. Make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you read the fine print and make sure you reread the fine print, okay? I'm just saying.
Industry rule number 4080, record company people are shady.
I'm hoping I'm not scaring you off yet, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just giving you the information. Don't be scared, don't be scared. They take advantage of a lot of drivers and squeeze out as much as possible. Less miles, less pay, less CPM. But you also got to realize you're talking to other drivers too. So some of these stories and complaints from the drivers are from drivers with poor work ethic and bad business decisions as well. So like I said, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Some companies make a lot of money on their trucks by running the drivers just enough to make the payment, but not enough to save and put money away for your future. At the end of the lease purchase, there's not enough saved for a final payment, or the trucking company don't run them enough to make enough money to save for your final payment, or enough money at the end of the lease. The trucking companies take the truck and lease it out again. That's how they make their profit. So you failed at the lease, no problem. We're gonna take the tractor, we're gonna clean it out, we're gonna get it spruced up for the next driver to go out and try to lease that truck. But many lease programs do work fine though, all right? At least, the last payment might even be $1 or some very small amount. You just have to do your research. Do your research, and you probably might come out all right as well. I'm not done yet. I got to get this trailer up. Let's go ahead and do that, and let me go ahead and get on up out of here. And we're going to go ahead and finish up this episode of the Lease program. I hope this is good information for you, because I got a lot of questions from a lot of people that always want to know, what about leasing. All right, let's go. Yeah, what's up? We about to finish up this lease part of New to Trucking series. I am still glad that you guys are still with me, still rocking out with me. So let's go ahead and finish it up, man. Let's go ahead and finish it up. Now, I mentioned a lot of stuff that I got you guys thinking about: leasing, lease purchase, lease program, lease on, all that good stuff that you want to consider when you're coming into this New to Trucking field. Now, if you don't want to be a company driver and you want to step your game up, then before you get into the owner-op side of trucking, then leasing is like midway there. It's like climbing up a ladder, you know. Set yourself some goals or something like that. I bet y'all wondering, y'all like, Lockoutmen, yo, you've been in the game for a long time. Why you not leasing? Well, I'll tell you why I'm not leasing. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a lease driver. I don't want that kind of smoke. I like what I'm doing. I like how the company take care of things when I need them to be taken care of. Truck breaks down, it's not out of my pocket. If I'm sitting, it's not out of my pocket. I don't want that kind of smoke. But if you want that kind of smoke, then I am here to give it to you, all right? And smoke is easy too, right? It's easy. All right, so the last bit about leasing, all right, that I want to go over right quick. Some important things that you should know about leasing a truck, all right? These are important. Let's start off with bullet points here, all right? There are walk-away programs out there. So there are leases that you can walk away from with no problems, no penalties, no issues. You can take the truck back to the company and say, hey, I don't want this no more. I don't want this smoke no more. There are lease programs out there that are not by the trucking company themselves. For example, there's this company called Quality Leasing that'll allow you to lease a truck onto any carrier, all right? So just know that leasing is just not with the company itself. There are companies out here that you can go lease a truck from, and you can bring that truck onto any carrier that you want to go with. You are paying a lot more to use the truck than if you was buying it. Remember that. Now, if you was to go and actually buy the truck, then the payments is set. But by leasing a truck from these companies, you eventually going to be paying more for that truck. Remember that. If you plan to buy a truck, consider a credit union, a bank, a finance company. Make sure you get your credit right. So as soon as you get your credit right, then you can go ahead and jump on the companies that I just said about, you know, leasing a truck. You need to make sure you are committed to trucking. You are committed, because once you get into a leased truck, you're committed. You gotta be committed to this game. You gotta eat, shit, breathe, watch TV, all about trucking. Now, if you're committed to it, you'll be successful with it. You just can't chase the money. That's what a lot of us are doing. We're out here chasing money. But you can't just chase the money. You have to love the drive, because you are signing a legal document to put a lot of money for a lot of years. You have to drive in order to make the payments. You got to drive. Once you get from that bunk, you in the captain's chair, you got to drive. If you're not driving, you're not making no money. If you're not making no money, you're not making the payments. And if you're not making the payments, what they going to do? They're going to come and get their truck. Ooh, you're a lease driver. Those payments coming out of those checks every week. And if you so happen to take a week off and you don't have no money to cover for that payment, guess what? It's going to double onto your next payment. And then now you in the hole. Maybe you can get out of it by doing a couple of good runs, but sometimes that hole is going to get deeper. It's going to get deeper. You're going to miss that payment, trying to catch up with that payment. Now you're in the midst of robbing Peter to pay Paul. You definitely have to save for emergencies. Anything liable to happen in a truck is still a vehicle. Anything can happen. $200 tires. Save your money. Have some money. Backup money. Any kind of money. You got to save it. You can't just, oh, I got $2,000. Out of that $2,000, you got to remember, out of that $2,000, you got the truck to pay for, you got the insurance to pay for, you got the fuel to pay for. Then after the fuel, you got to take out some money for your future, AKA 401k. You got to take some money out for your benefits, AKA your health. And then all that said, you still got to put some money away. And then what you're left with is maybe $100 or $200 for yourself. Yo, lease versus buying a truck. Lease versus buying a truck. You see that nice, shiny 2000 and whatever. You want to buy it. You want to get it. You want to jump in it. And y'all, thank you very much. That is it for this part of New to Trucking, lease purchase, what to know about leasing. Is leasing good for you? Whatever, however you want to do it. Look, if you know anybody that can benefit from these videos, share these videos across your social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Get these type of videos out so these new jacks out here can learn from them, all right? And I would appreciate you very much for doing so, okay? Thank you very much. I am Lockoutmen. Thank you for joining me for the new series, New to Trucking. If you guys want to hook a brother up with some coffee, definitely hook me up with some coffee. Leave the tip right there at the corner.
Cause baby, once I'm gone, I ain't coming back. And you gon' have to settle with another man. But when you realize, don't be running back.